Hello. So I am seeing somebody's mother was in competition with them. So somebody here who's watching this video had a mother who was in competition with them, okay? That felt that they didn't want you to be better than them. They didn't want you to be smarter than, they felt inferior to you actually in some way. Some aspects about you, your energetic frequency, they felt inferior to you. And so they kind of did a number on you mentally to try to keep you feeling weak, to keep you feeling like you weren't good enough, like you weren't smart enough, that you didn't look good, that you weren't capable of doing things, that you weren't skilled or talented at something. It's like they were jealous of you. They were in competition with you, and you as a child, you didn't even know, like this was your parent, this was your mother that you thought loved you, that you just thought this was normal or whatever. And then as you got older, you started to see that this person had severe complexes and didn't really have a lot of self-love. Didn't really have a lot of self-love, was very critical of themselves, and also was very critical of you. That was part of the way that they made themselves feel superior to you, is that they criticized you a lot. They tried to control you. They tried to get you to be the way they wanted you to be, that they wanted you to be, rather than allowing you to be who you are, okay? I'm seeing that this mother just wasn't capable of change and reached a certain point in their life where their soul knew, because they were just on this pathway, because everything is happening all at once. So in other words, all of the choices that you could make are happening at once, but you are living through the experience of the choice that you are making currently, or the choices that you've made. So you're like on this one pathway, like you made this choice and it led to this, and it led to this, and it led to this. But all of those other choices still exist at once, okay? Your consciousness is just streaming on this one path. And so what I'm saying is that this mother was streaming along this one path, and on a soul level knew that they were never going to make the changes or reach the level of growth or evolution, soul evolution, that they were going to need to reach, or that they wanted to reach in this life. And so the soul decided to circle back, come back and reincarnate, and came back as your child. Okay, so this message isn't going to be for everybody, because, maybe you don't have a kid. Or maybe it came back as somebody very close to you, as a family member. Okay, maybe not a child, but somebody, maybe like a niece or nephew, or somebody you're close with, or, maybe it's like a good friend's child, somebody that you see a lot. I don't know. You place it where it is, where it needs to go. But I'm seeing this mother, the soul, decided while it was still alive, okay, because it was still living out this life, decided to send another aspect of itself, of the soul self, in to cycle through, and came back as either your child or somebody younger than you that you were going to have the opportunity to guide. So it was almost like you had to live through a double whammy, because I am seeing that when this child was born, they had a lot of the same qualities as your mother did. And your mother is still being alive, or maybe not, but what I'm seeing, the mother was still alive when this child cycled through, had a lot of the similar, and you might have even recognized, wow, like this child makes me feel the same way my mother did. Like they had a lot of similar personality traits, okay? And maybe even you stopped to like take responsibility for that. Like maybe you were thinking to yourself, oh, did I create this cycle? Did I do things that created? And I'm seeing no. While you might have created, like you might have perpetuated some cycles before you were healed or aware, it's this child actually was born with these personality traits that was outside of anything that you could do. It was the characteristics that this kid was born with. Okay, and so now you had to navigate having a mother that was this way and also having a child this way. And the reason for that was because you were going to step into the healing process. You were going to learn how to bring balance to your own situation, how to regulate your own emotions, how to transmute and find your own alignment. And then you were going to be the role model for this child, where they might have seen you in a dysregulated state, but they also saw you heal it and bring it into alignment. And because you're authentic, you're accountable, you are very transparent, and you're real, you're real. You don't, like, if you see a problem, you want to address it. You don't turn the other cheek to problems. Like, you address things. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. And so it's like you were gonna be a role model, be an example for healing, and you were also going to hold this child or this person that cycled back accountable for their actions, because the other one, the mother, they don't take accountability for themselves. Then they're never going to. They're never going to. They have already passed the point where they're able to do that. Okay? And that mother might not be alive right now, but at the point that it chose to cycle through, like I already said, it was alive. That person was alive at that point. Okay? So, and this is very challenging for you. I'm seeing that it was very, very challenging, and it still might be challenging. And you might have, it's almost like it has helped you heal while it also challenged you. Because this child triggered a lot of things out of you that the mother did. It's like very interesting. It's very interesting, like that infinite cycle I'm seeing, the infinite cycle where this mother hurt you and you had a lot of feelings, but you had to survive through that type of mother. So you stuffed a lot of those things away, or you were disconnected from it for your own safety, your own survival, your own level of protection. And then when you went through this healing process, this child was triggering these things out of you into your awareness, triggering them into your awareness for you to address them. And you did. And I'm not saying that it was perfect or easy. You might have made mistakes, but you always take accountability for yourself. And you understand things. Your level of understanding of the situation, your level of self-awareness is very high. Okay? And I feel like your level of self-awareness has always been high, but because there was a little bit of an emotional disconnect that, you needed to go through experiences that elicited that out of you so that you could bring awareness to it and process it. But so now you, the child of that mother, is now the mother or the role model to that child, that same person, that same energy. And you are helping that person heal. You are guiding them and teaching them how to do it. You are a first-hand role model. And maybe it's because you have those qualities. Like, interesting that they always felt inferior to you, and you were going to come here, do what they couldn't do, and then teach them how to do it. So, maybe they felt inferior because they already knew that your light shined brighter than them, that your level of consciousness was higher than them, that your level of strength was greater than theirs. Maybe they already sensed that on, an energetic level, an unconscious level. So that's very interesting. That will be confirmation for somebody here. Okay, it's not going to resonate with everybody. Of course, we don't all have the same mothers. We didn't all come from the same dynamic. But this is very clear to me. This mother who was in competition with you cycled through as a child that you were going to help heal. And you may even notice that child was also in competition with you. Because I'm seeing that even as when this child was very little, like say you sat down to like draw pictures or do art together, and you know, you both were drawing something, this child would get upset if they felt yours was better than theirs. Like, so in some level, they were also still navigating that feeling. Okay? But you're doing such a great job. And again, it's not that you're doing it perfectly. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You know, you're going to mess up. Sometimes we got to mess up in order to learn. Sometimes we got to mess up in order to see the fullness of the situation. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you do take accountability for yourself. You do learn from it. And that's important, that you learn from it. You don't just be like, oh, well, whatever, and keep doing it. Because I said it in a different video, because you don't want to make people feel the way that you felt. That doesn't serve you anything. That doesn't make you feel good about yourself. Some people it does. Some people, they want to hurt others because it gives them some sense of like control over their own feelings. But that's not who you are. That's not what you do. Okay? So, and I love that about you. And I know it's not easy. I know it's very difficult and feels very unfair. It's like, why? But this is, again, how you are bringing balance to these balance to these different souls, to the whole system. You're helping other souls evolve. And you're actually helping the person that hurt you evolve. But they couldn't do it in that previous life. So they're doing it in a new life. It's very interesting. Very interesting stuff there. So I hope that serves as some type of confirmation for you. You didn't cause this child to be that way. Like, it wasn't something that you did, okay? But you are helping that child to evolve and to grow. You're teaching them by being a role model of how to take responsibility for yourself, to address your own pain, and to rise from those ashes like the phoenix you are, baby. So humid out today. So all right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope that that message helps you in some way, if it is for you, if it resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate for you, just leave it for somebody else, you know? Not every message is gonna resonate, and that's okay. I still love you no matter what. God still loves you no matter what. You're doing a really great job. And thanks for being here with me. Thanks for showing up and being here with me. I see you, and I appreciate you, and I love you so, so much. I love you so, so much, and God loves you. Okay, keep up the great work, and just know that you are making such a huge difference. Okay? I'll talk to you soon.